Ladies and gentlemen, you are paying shillings 214 shillings for 1 liter of super petrol in Nairobi today. The actual cost of that fuel from Middle East landed at Mombasa port at 107 shillings. Everything else over 107 is what the government, pipeline and oil companies had on top. And the government alone takes more than 80 shillings from every single liter. So who exactly is causing your fuel crisis? On May 14, 2026, EPRA increased super petrol by 16.65 shillings and diesel by 49 shillings per liter. Transport operators went on strike nationwide. People died, and after a crisis meeting, President William Ruto directed a review. EPRA reduced diesel only at 10 shillings, but super petrol stayed at 214 shillings. The strikes continue. The crisis is not over. So here is the full verified breakdown of every single shillings between Middle East refineries and Nairobi fuel pump using EPRA own price model and current confirmed figures. So step by step with me. So this first step, the global cost. Kenya imports 100% of its petroleum in refined form. On the international market, a barrel of refined super petrol trades at 105 and 107 US dollars. One barrel contains exactly 159 liters, putting the raw cost at approximately 65 US cents per liter, and the current exchange rate roughly at 129.50 per dollar. That is 86 shillings per liter at the Middle East refinery gates. Add ocean freight and insurance cost across the Indian Ocean to Mombasa, and the confirmed landed cost at Kipevu Oil Terminal is 107 shillings per liter. That is the actual price of the fuel before a single Kenyan charge is added. Step 2, domestic logistics. From Kipevu, the fuel moves through the Kenya Pipeline Company network, pumped to primary deposits in different parts of the country in Nairobi, Nakuru, Kisumu, and Eldoret, then trucks by road buoys to individual petrol station. This entire logistic layer adds only 4 shillings per liter. Cumulative cost then now stands at 112 shillings. Then step 3, oil company margins. Oil marketing companies and the retail petrol station dealers collect legally capped margins covering corporates, overheads, station, construction loans, staff wages, and electricity at the pump. This layer adds 17 shillings per liter. Now, cumulative cost stands at 129 shillings. So step 4, the government layer. This is where the real story lies. The Kenyan government collect 9 separate taxes and levies on every single liter of fuel sold in this country. There is road maintenance levy, which is 25 shillings. There is excise duty, which is 21 shillings. VAT at 8%, recently reduced from 16%. That is 17 shillings. Import declaration fee, that is 3.5 shillings. Railway development levy funding, SGR operation at 2 shillings. There is also a petroleum development levy, 1.2 shillings. Petroleum regulatory levy, 0.5 cents. There is merchant shipping fee, 0.03. Total government tax burden on 1 litre of super petrol now stands at 72 shillings. Cumulatively, cost after tax is 201 shillings. The step 5, there is what we call stabilization buffer. The government applies a price stabilization adjustment drawing from the Petroleum Development Levy Fund to pay oil marketers directly and partially suppress the pump price in the current May to June 2026 election, or not election, SACCO EPRA confirm, the government is utilizing approximately shillings 5 billion from the PDL fund to subsidize diesel and kerosene. After this adjustment, the confirmed current pump in Nairobi price, for example, for super petrol is 214. That was effective from May 19 to June 14, 2026. So the structural breakdown at the current price is this. Of to 214 shilling paid at the pump today, 107, roughly 50%, is the actual cost of fuel and ocean freight. That is 4 shillings and 93 cents. Just over 2% is the domestic logistics. That is 17 shilling. Just over 8% is oil company margin. At over 72, more than 33% goes directly to the government in taxes and levies before you even drive 1 meter. In plain language, for every 3 liters of fuel you buy today, you are handing the government the full equivalent of 1 full liter for free. That the government just increased the price by 16 shillings in a single month. So EPRA increased super petrol by 16 shillings per litre on May 14, 2026. Diesel went up by 46 shillings. Transport operators shut down the country. People died in different places, including Naivasha, Nakuru, and Nairobi. And nearly 300 people were arrested. And after all of that, the government response was to reduce diesel by only 10 shillings, leaving super petrol completely untouched at shillings 214 shillings. So the government attributed the increase to a 10% rise in the landed cost of super petrol between March and April 2026, from now US dollars 823 to US dollars 906 per cubic meter. That global factor is real, but what the government never volunteer is that over 33% of what Kenyans pay at the pump is a direct government taxes. 9 separate levies that have nothing to do with the price of oil in the Middle East. A road maintenance levy that has not fixed Kenyan's roads. A railway development fund that fund an SGR most Kenyans cannot afford to ride. An exercise duty feeding a national budget that grew 63% in 2 years, while the economy grew at 4.8%. The fuel crisis in Kenya is not a global problem with a local impact. It is a local tax problem hiding behind a global exercise, and the numbers confirmed it. The road maintenance levy has collected 25 shillings from every litre of fuel sold in Kenya for years. The railway development levy has collected 2 shillings for every litre. So where is the full public audit showing exactly how much has been collected and exactly where every shillings is spent? That is the question every Kenyan should ask himself. So whether ordinary Kenyans will ever be told the full truth about what they are paying and why. At 214 shillings per litre today, every matatu passenger, every boda rider, every household buying food transported by road is funding 9 government levies simultaneously, with no public accountability for how that money is used or spent. The Kenya Association of Manufacturers have already warned that rising fuel costs are increasing transportation, manufacturing, agriculture, and food production costs in Kenya ultimately will raise the cost of living for every Kenyan. Transport operators rejected the 10 shillings diesel reduction as completely insufficient, and the strike remains on.